that's our first row finished. So now you can see this is one side of the work, that's the other side of the work, but soon, because it's all garter stitch, they're both going to look, both sides will look exactly the same. So pushing the stitches up a bit, let's start the second row, and the second row is exactly the same as the first, so it's a repeat. So needle through the stitch, set your tension, I'll show you that again. One more time. So I grip it in my ring finger, but I take it around my first finger, I loop it over my middle finger, under the ring and over the pinky, and this is controlling my tension. I use the finger and thumb on the left hand to grip where the needles cross, and then I'm using my left hand just to control this needle. So needle into the stitch, yarn around the needle, bring the yarn through, take this stitch over, needle through the stitch, yarn around on the needle, bring the yarn through, take the stitch over. So as I said, pretty much like the first row. And because you've now done a row, and my intention is not too loose, it's certainly not tight, the stitches flow quite well. Once again, the number of stitches transferring to or being knitted onto the right needle is increasing, and as it does, it's coming into rest and it's coming across between my thumb and forefinger. So if I just straighten that out a little bit, there you go. So it's resting there, you can see, and that's a good place for it. And carry on. Again, take a break just to move the stitches up. Slow this down if you need to. If you've got any comments about the speed that I knit and need me to slow down longer, do give me some feedback. I will certainly consider it. And again, I need to stop a bit just to bring these stitches down. Just move them along to create space to transfer more stitches onto the needle. Practice makes perfect, practice makes good, definitely. So the more you do this and the more you try using your own method of holding the needles and your tension, you should be able to speed up too. I know it's easy for me to say this because I'm experienced. I've been knitting for a lot of years, but it can be done. It's a nice little sound, clicking of needles. Right, so I'm just going to move it along again. Give myself a bit of space. We've got a few more stitches left, not many, of the 90. And then I'll be able to show you both sides of the work, which are in fact exactly the same. Okay, so last two stitches, and there we go. So let's put one needle down. Let's spread this all out. that's what it looks like one side, and this is what it looks like the other side. So you can see the knit row that we did first is just slightly lower. This one is right up here. So as you go through, as you continue to knit, they just increase and they just alternate which side shows where the knit is. So that's showing like the knitted side, or if you were looking at the reverse, it could even look like a purl, and same this way. So when we go back, again, you'll get the same effect. So those 2 rows form your garter stitch. They're just plain, they're just knit. You have to repeat those 2 rows until you reach 6 inches from the beginning. And at that point, we start to increase. It starts changing. We shape the sleeves. That's where I'll resume my videos.